Hello guys, today we are talking about yesterday's Apple event. It was a hectic event, it was full of stuff. Let's get on with it. So Apple yesterday introduced a gorgeous new color for the existing iPhone 13 lineup, and they've introduced the most powerful iPad Air ever, and then they've also introduced a new computer called a Mac Studio and a new screen called Mac Studio Display. So we're gonna get into details with these ones. And number one, they released two new colors for the iPhone 13, which is the Alpine green and the green. These colors are gorgeous, man. These colors are gorgeous. It's a Alpine green and green. They are gorgeous. I would love to have an iPhone like that. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the iPad. They have released a new iPad Air, and that iPad has an M1 chip. So the shape of the iPad has not changed. It's still the same iPad Air that you know, but the internals they've changed. They've put the existing M1 chip from the MacBook Pro and MacBook Air from 2020, the most powerful chip. Like that chip, we are still surprised that nobody is catching up to that chip in terms of other maybe Intel or whatever. That chip is super fast, super efficient, and super low heat. So it means they are able to put in a device and without a fan, the device that doesn't have a fan, and it will still run more efficiently without the heat. So they've done that with the iPad Air. And then the most important or the most interesting thing to me was the Apple Studio. That one wins the cup with this presentation. The Apple Studio, which is it's a new computer, and with it they've introduced a new CPU, like the craziest CPU you can think about. They call it M1 Ultra. So what happens with the M1 Ultra is they took the existing M1 Max CPUs, which are the most powerful CPUs in the market right now. So they've taken those two and infused them together. So there's two CPUs infused together, and the way the bandwidth between them is so fast that the softwares can even think it's one chip. So it is recognized as one chip. It is powerful. My friend, if you know the power of M1, not even to talk about the M1 Pro or the M1 Max, just the M1. If you know the power in the M1, and then now you skip M1 Pro, you go to M1 Max, and then you take the two M1 Maxes, you fuse them together. Shit, man, that is just amazing. So that is the second thing. The third thing that I want to talk about is the new iPhone SE. The new iPhone SE was also released yesterday, which now is on the A15 Bionic chip, which is the same chip that is on the iPhone 13s. So, but the camera, it gets improvement on the camera, but not the same as iPhone 13. It gets a little bit bigger battery. But now, if you take the same iPhone SE, remember the SE is the same size as the iPhone 8. It's the same size and shape. It has a home button, has Touch ID, and then what else? Yeah, I think that's it. And then these were the major announcements yesterday. So Apple is really trying so hard to improve itself. I mean, if I was Apple, I was not gonna move at that high pace. I was gonna reserve myself to say, okay, this year let's just release this much. Then next year we'll release this much. So now they're just going all out. I mean, imagine we've not even gotten up like used to having the M1 Max. So now we have a chip that is two M1 Maxes fused together. And they say the bandwidth between those two chips is like 2.5 terabytes per second. What? 2.5 terabytes per second. What more should I say? And it comes in 128 gigabyte memory or 256 gigabyte memory. What should I say? What more should I say? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you love the video, give me a like, and then let's take it from there. I love you guys.